Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've got another scroll effect for you today. We've got two little images here. When we roll them up, they're going to stick to the top. And if we go a bit further, they're going to enlarge, go black and white, and they're going to go a little bit transparent and hide behind here. If I demonstrate, there we go. And our next section's on top of them there, or our next row's on top of them there. Really easy to do. We don't need to do any coding with this today. We're using the awesome Divi theme. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder. Once enabled, let's go down to where we want to work. I'm simply going to delete this row. Okay, well, let's start again. I'm going to add another row between these two little columns right here. So little green button to add a new row. I'm going to put in two columns exactly the same as I did before. Inside the column, I'm going to put a little image. Divi comes with all kind of modules. You can build just about any website you want with them. And if you've got the WooCommerce, it'll add another dozen for displaying your products. I've just added the simple image module. Pop in an image, and let's go down. For the link, I'm going to have it open in a lightbox. For anybody that doesn't know, a lightbox, when they click on it, it'll open it up into a larger version of the image and darken out the background, which is a nice little effect. Okay, here's where the fun starts. What we want to do is, when we scroll up here, instead of having it disappear like everything else, I want it to stick to the top there, or I want it to stick about here, I should say. And I want it to grow, and I want it to move over to the left, and I want it to be black and white and settle underneath this next row. So to do that, let's go over to our Advanced tab. I'm going to go down to Scroll Effects, Sticky Position, Stick to Top. And if I roll up now, it'll stick to the top. But I don't want it right on the top like that. I want a bit of a gap. So I'm going to give it a little bit of offset here. I'm going to give it 50 pixels. Like every other Divi module, just put in the number. It'll put in the pixels for you. If you want to use percentage or VH or something like that, just select the pix and type it in. Okay, now it should stop 50 pixels from the top. Great. Okay, next thing I want it to do is, I don't want it to be there all the time. I want it to stop when it gets to the next section, which I happen to know is right here. So to make that happen, bottom sticky limit right here, section. So when it gets to the bottom of the section that it's actually in, it's going to stop being sticky. So right now, there we go. Fantastic. Okay, now we want to make it grow, so let's go over to our Design tab, down to Transform. Now, common to most Divi modules, if you hover over the dark writing here, some icons will appear. There's a little pin there which will allow you to set a state when it's not sticky, which is a desktop state, and when it is sticky, the little pin icon right here. So on regular state, I want it just as it is. On sticky state, I want it to grow some. So let's take it up. Say about there. Might be a little bit too much. Say 140. And you can either type in a value, increment with these little buttons, fine tune. Like most ones, if there's a little chain icon there, it's going to do both sides at once. If you want to do them individually, just uncheck that. Okay, I also want to move it over to the left hand side a bit. So I'm going to use Translate for that, the next little tab over. And again, I only want it on the pinned version. I don't want to move it up and down, so I'm going to uncheck this chain this time. I'm just going to move it over. Something like that. Probably doesn't even need that much, that's fine. Let's even it up to a regular 100. So I'm just clicking on the up arrow because it's a negative value. I'm using the up arrow. Great. Now regular state, if we go back there, we'll put it back where it was. I also want it to go black and white and to be a little bit see-through, which is opacity. So let's go up above transform there, and we'll go into our filters. Now to make it black and white, I can take the saturation down. So again, we're going to hover over the dark writing, hit the pin icon, regular state, want it just like it is. Now when it gets sticky, I want it to be black and white. There we go. Now I don't want it to be quite as defined as that, so I'm going to take some of the opacity away, or give it a bit of transparency. There's opacity just below. Again, I'm going to hit the pin icon, and let's take it down to where we want it. There we go. We can still see it, but it's not really sort of defined that well, but it's still there. Great. And when we go back to desktop, it's going to go back to where it was. But I've noticed that when we go up here, these are going behind it. I don't want them to go behind it. I want them to go on top of it. So what I need to do here is let's just save this one. The row that it's in, I'm going to go into the row, the green cog for the row, dark one for the module, blue one for a section. So I'm going into the row, I'm going to go to the advanced, and I'm going to go down to position. I'm going to roll down just a little bit. And here's Z index. I'm going to give this row a Z index of say 5. Doesn't matter as long as whatever row you want to go underneath has a lower Z index than the row that you want to have on top. So I'm going to give the row below a Z index of 10, so it should roll up above it. So let's save this. And I'm going to go to the row below right here, green tab again, same place, advanced, down to position, Z index, and I'll give this one, well, it's actually got 6, which should work, but just for fun, I'm going to give it 10. So the first one's 5, this one's 10. Now when I scroll up, as you can see, these are now on top of it, which is just what I want. Fantastic. Then when we get to the bottom of the section, it should unstick and go up. There we go. Fantastic. Now just to finish off, we'll mirror it with one on this side that goes the opposite direction. So let's just copy this one. 2 little square icons to copy, left click, drag one of them over, doesn't matter which one because they're both absolutely identical. And let's go into this one. And the only thing I really want, well of course I want to change the image, let's change the image out. But I just want to go into my design and transform, translate. Reason it looks a bit strange at the moment is because of that. And instead of going to the left, I want to make this go to the right, but only when it's sticky, so it's on the pinned one. So we've got minus 100 there. I'm going to select that and just put in 100. There we go. And that should pop it the other way. Let's just put this back on regular desktop state. We'll save it. And we should be good to go. Don't worry about that. It's just because we're on the back end and I've been flipping back and forth between the pinned and the desktop state, but it should work perfectly on the front end. Let's save our draft, or publish if you're ready. And exit the Visual Builder. Okay, there we are. There's our 2 little images. When I click on one, it should pop out into a light box. Fantastic. When I click anywhere outside, it should go back to where it was. When we scroll up the top, when it gets to 50 pixels below, it should move over, go black and white and a little bit transparent. There we go. And our next section's on top of it, which is just what we want. And this one's moved over to the right. Now, should start going up now. Fantastic. Great. And there's the 2 little disappearing images, or 3 little disappearing images that we did in our last video. So there you have it, guys. When you go back down, it goes back to where it was. That's how to do a neat little scroll effect using the inbuilt features of the Divi theme. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Must mention you can do this with any module. You don't have to do it with an image. I've just done it with an image today because that's what I wanted to do. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.